Bernard Cazeneuve said that the investigation is progressing rapidly. He gave an update on the overnight raid, saying at least 23 people were arrested. And he said the state of emergency that's been imposed is working, and there are many more raids to come.
And this is the purpose of state of emergency. But as we heard him say, all forces are being mobilized. And mobilized why? Because France is now facing a new form of terror. You need new forms of mobilization. Yes, in the wake of the Charlie Hebdo attacks, new measures were put in place, notably trying to group together a lot of the counterterrorism units under the Interior Ministry, recruiting more agents to survey people who were suspected, being on watch lists and all of that, really putting more eyeballs on the radar there. But this takes it to a totally new dimension. And just, what we really heard was a long laundry list of a lot of the measures that have been taken. He wanted it, this was really the Interior Minister trying to show that they're matching the words when they declare war with deeds, so to speak. And the numbers are quite significant when you think just in the past 24 hours, he said 168 house raids, house searches during which he cited, specifically quantities of weapons, both small and heavy arms being seized, in some cases drugs, computers, mobile phones. Also, more significantly, 104 house arrests, because this is another one of those elements of state of emergency. You are authorized to put people who are deemed to be suspected of being a potential threat or danger to national security, or seen as perhaps a potential for public calamity, creating public disorder. They can be put under house arrest. These are high numbers, over 100 in each case. You mentioned also there, the number of imams, the religious organizations. This has been a very big theme in France in the past months. Obviously now with the state of emergency, they're accelerating the pace at which the procedures, as the Interior Minister called it, to ban, as he said, religious organizations that promote violence, and more specifically to try to root out the imams that are responsible or perceived as preaching violence in the name of religion. These people will be expelled. There have already been dozens of people expelled this year, 34 foreigners. I'm looking at the exact figures that he gave. Over 200 people not allowed to leave France right now because they would be deemed a threat outside the country as well, and that is if they intended to go to Syria or Iraq to train there and then come back to the country. Over 100 not allowed to enter the country. So it's very interesting. I mean, these are actions that we've reported on quite a bit since the Charlie Hebdo attacks, but this really takes it to an entirely new level of magnitude in the sheer number of these searches, arrests, procedures now put in place, moving very quickly to try to root out anyone seen in any way, shape, or form as a threat to the République, the Republic, as he called it.
And interestingly, he mentioned foiled attacks. He said that 6 attacks have been foiled in the last few months, and perhaps that's in response to the security services being accused in some quarters of a failure on Friday.
Absolutely, because this is a very good question. The Associated Press news agency, and we were reporting earlier today, they were quoting, they had spoken to Iraqi security officials, and Iraqi security officials told the AP that France, the U.S., and Iran, they had warned them that Iraqi intelligence had delivered a very, very sharp warning that an attack was imminent. They didn't give the specifics. They weren't able to say when or where, but what they were able to say, according to the Associated Press, was pretty significant. They were able to say that there were 24 people planned in the planning and organization, 19 attackers, 5 people involved in planning and logistics. The idea being that they would be trained in Raqqa, the self-proclaimed, the capital, the self-proclaimed caliphate of the Islamic State group, Raqqa in Syria, and then come back into France once their training was done. And then this sleeper cell in France would help them to execute, put into actual deeds what they've been trained to do. How much of that was, by the letter adhered to, we don't know. That will become clear with the investigation. But we do know the Iraqi officials telling one news agency that this was very much something that had been warned about. And French intelligence, how do they defend themselves? Well, they told the AP that, look, we get warnings of this kind all the time. And you can imagine in this new age of new forms of terror sort of evolving, metastasizing all the time, it's even with greater frequency. So their defense right now is literally, we get so many warnings. There's a point at which, you can't be everywhere at once, even with extraordinary means of manpower deployed. It's going to take new forms and new ingenuity to fight this kind of terrorism. It's not just a matter of putting soldiers on the street. We saw 10,000 soldiers deployed throughout metropolitan France in the wake of the Charlie Hebdo attacks. Anyone who lives here has seen the soldiers with their guns in front of schools, in front of public monuments. But there's now a debate that's going to be beginning much more in earnest, perhaps, about how to best use those soldiers. Are they best put to use just standing there in front of monuments? Is that really a deterrent? Are there other ways to use them? This is all debate that's just going to be beginning. No one has the absolute answer right now. But we hear, from what we hear today, Bernard Cazeneuve, what he's saying, and all of these figures, we are getting a real sense of not just mobilization, but a dawning awareness of the new challenges in a really new and evolving form of terrorism.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Doug.